How's it going? This is James P. White, and you know me from the Bald and Short of It podcast. I'm the short one. He is the bald one. That is Chris Mooney. Welcome to the podcast. There's a lot of like crazy stuff that has happened in the last couple days. Big stuff in sports, and I can tell by the look on my buddy Mooney's face that what needed to happen happened. Hey, take a look. Take a look.
Yeah,
I'm
I
wearing
noticed.
I'm wearing the shirt, baby. Yeah, the Blue Jays did it. We'll talk about that a little bit more in sports, and just a really cool week. And I made a new batch of salsa, but we're going to touch on that in a bit. And how's it going, big guy?
Not bad, not bad at all. We've had some adventures this week. Um, yeah, more to come. Listen, sports right now is just nuts. There's like sports every day. It's so cool. Like um, Sunday. We'll talk. I'll tell you about my week. Um, but sports. Holy cow! There's so much going on. Friday we hung out with a friend of the podcast, Ian, and a bunch of guys to watch the Jays game. That was awesome. I had so much fun. Um, and there was about 6 or 7 of us. That was a really great time. We were at Sherbrooke from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Until I couldn't drink anymore. I'm like, I need to go home. I think I even left before the end of the Jays game.
Yeah, it was fun. Um, Saturday, I we Andrea's sister and her husband Rob and their family, they're really nice people. We didn't get a chance to hook up with them on Thanksgiving, so we had a games night on Saturday at their place, which was a lot of fun. And then Sunday we hung out with good friend of the podcast, Johnny, Johnny Cowboy. um,
Yeah.
and I'll let you talk about that. Why don't you fire away there? How you doing, pal?
Oh, the Nazareth show. That's where we went, and that I forgot how great that band is, but any band at the River Cree, especially rock bands, just kill it. That's a great venue for rock shows. And, a great thing about the River Cree on any concert, most of them, you can get backstage VIP. Like, can't really talk with the guys. You don't go back and have, and sit chit chat. You go back and take a group picture. We had a great one with the three of us and the band. Like, the River Cree is a great venue, and Nazareth, what a show! It was
Yeah,
it was so much fun. And one thing I love about going to, especially a rock show, is I'm hanging out with you guys, and you guys are watching. Hey Jimmy, how's it going?
oh my
Like we
god.
were sitting there everywhere we went, like people, shaking my hand. Hey Jimmy, how's it going? Um, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's it
you're
blows my mind how many people actually recognize me, stuff like that.
you're a celebrity. Like there's no two ways about it. Um we I went a little early to make sure I got the early bird special at Tap 25. That's half price off all the food there, which is great. Get like a nice good steak sandwich for like $13.
They have
Pretty
great food
pretty
there.
cheap. Yeah, yeah. So I went a little early too because I wanted to catch the game. The game was at 6 and the concert started we had to be there at 8:30, I guess. And that was a crucial game for the Jays. That was game 6. And that was a do or die game. We were down 3-2 in the series. And so I'm like we gotta so I actually ended up watching the last couple innings on my phone at the River Cree venue. But we were sitting at the bar at Top 25 with our backs to the casino, um, but the sort of the entry point. And I swear to God, every 5 minutes, people coming up, hey James, hey Jimmy, hey. Like one lady, I'm so pissed off at myself. One lady came and she wanted a picture with you, and Johnny had her camera and he was taking a picture. I was sitting on the other side of you, and I got on my camera to take a picture. I missed it by like 2 seconds. Just a picture
That
of
would have been a
somebody
great
wanting to getting a
because
picture with you.
with you taking the picture, you would have been behind me, so you would have been taking a picture of me getting a picture taken with somebody else.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would have been Johnny and my back and the person that I was with uh back. It would have that would have been a great pick
And
just for fun.
a nice thing about that, about your celebrity status though too, is like you're pretty humble about it. Like, well, I guess it's impossible for your head to get any bigger. But it doesn't.
Physically, it's impossible. My body wouldn't be able to. If my head got any bigger, I wouldn't be able to stand. Like I need I need a couple of wheels with a brace to kind of keep it so that my it didn't break my neck. Yeah.
But that was a great evening. And yeah, so speaking of sports, um, like Sunday especially. Okay, so I watch NFL football. I play fantasy football, so I'm every Sunday basically watching football. There was a football game. The Oilers were playing at 1:30. The Jays were playing at 6, and there was an F1 race too. And I follow F1, Formula One racing. And so like
You're a
literally
total loser. Like, is
there's
there
like
anything
12
you don't
hours.
follow? Do you follow cricket too? Like,
No, there's
okay.
12 hours of sports, like easily that a person could have watched that day. And I managed to take in about 9 and a concert. So it's the time. It's a glorious time right now, man. You got NFL, you got the Oilers, and you got the Jays in the World Series now. So what a time to be alive, my friend.
Okay, so before I get into my week, and you already kind of touched on the sports, we're probably going to do it a bit. But I read something. I don't know if you saw it in the prep, but Bichette, whatever he said ready for the series. Was he injured?
Yeah,
And then but he's going to be in the World Series.
that's what he said, according to him. But I mean, it didn't come from the team. It was kind of like in the midst of all the celebrations, he was talking to a media guy, and he said, "Yeah, I'll be ready." So, which is huge. I mean, he's a hell of a player. He hurt his knee about, I don't know, like maybe a month and a half ago, just before the playoffs, and he's been out. He's one of the better center field, uh, one of the better shortstops in the game, and he's got a heck of a bat. So having him on the in the batting order is going to be a big boost for the team.
Does that happen? Sorry, Does that happen a lot where people are injured until the playoffs, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I'm good to go. And does that affect cap or does it affect
No,
the roster at all? Like, if someone comes in, do they have to boot someone out, or is that
well,
just
that's
in?
yeah,
And
that kind of happens where like it's a roster spot, so that's a thing. But there's no cap in baseball, unlike hockey. Um, where it does happen in hockey, like where there's been almost every year they have to change the rule in the new CBA, because there's shenanigans where there's no cap in the playoffs. So a team might have a guy on injured reserve, like we did with Kane last year. He was legitimately injured, like he tore his adductor
yeah,
muscle
he
and
had
the
he had
groin, and
knee
he had
he had knee. Didn't he have knee surgery or
yeah,
something? Like he had.
and he had knee surgery. So I mean, it's like, yeah, that guy's hurt. But I mean, Vegas did it 2 years in a row with Mark Stone, and I think the year they won the cup, they did it. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning did it with Kucherov when they won the cup. So what that does is like the amount of the cap space that the guy occupies while he's injured, they use it to get better players like at the deadline. So that and then and they're allowed to stay below the cap because his cap hit doesn't count. And then when the playoffs start, there is no cap hit. So they got the player they got at the deadline that they never would have got if the guy was healthy, and that player. So it's kind of shitty. But yeah, as far
But
as
but
your
that
question
doesn't.
was,
But that's not the same in baseball. So it
no,
doesn't.
baseball. Yeah, there's the coach names all the players that are going to be on the active roster before a series. Um, And so if Bichette's on, someone's going to have to come off. But it doesn't change like well that's the only material impact. It happened actually interestingly um, in this series with the Mariners that Anthony Santander, Tony Taters, he got hurt. He hurt his back in and running home actually, and the Jays got permission from the league to replace him with another player, Joey Loperfido. But the proviso on that was that he's not allowed to play next series. So he was basically we had to declare him out for the whole playoffs, and then we replaced him with Joey Loperfido. So that's the caps. There's not like I said, no cap, but there is roster conditions,
So they're
and
still only allowed to have so many players
yeah,
on the roster.
and you name your roster at the beginning of a series, and you can't change it after you've named it, unless something like
But
Santander happens or whatever.
but if someone gets hurt, you can bring someone over.
Yeah, you still have to get permission from the league, but the Jays went through the proper channels, and because he was hurt, they replaced him with another guy. But again, it on the condition that he doesn't come back, which I guess won't matter now
Yeah,
because it's the World Series. So,
yeah. Okay. What else do you want to talk about with
well,
sports?
did you want to finish your week, or was that?
We'll talk about my week after we got into the sports. We might as well just keep doing it,
Yeah, okay.
and then I'll touch on my week after.
Okay, well, yeah, the sports. I mean, the Oilers are kind of in the shitter. They've had a pretty bad road trip with the Rangers, Islanders, Devils, and Detroit. They lost to the Islanders, Devils, and Detroit, so they're basically three losses in a row. Their record is, I think, on the year 2-3-1. Two, yeah, and they play Ottawa tonight, and Ottawa sucks, so it might be a good time for the boys to put together a good game, a consistent game, not so fucking boring, which it has been. So that's pretty much the Oilers news. The Eskimos are out of the playoffs. They lost to BC on Friday. No surprise there. For their year, it looked like they'll be better next year. I mean, there's a lot of guys that the team had to gel. There was a lot of new faces, and there's some guys that really emerged. So I think that there's reason to be optimistic if you're an Eskimos football fan. Trey Ford was a big disappointment this year. He was supposed to be our starter, and at the beginning of the year, he was, and he got replaced by Cody Fajardo about 4 or 5 games in, and they never looked back. It's been Fajardo all the way, and he's done a good job, so can't complain there. I'll be more optimistic next year about this team. And yeah, the big news is the Jays. I mean, last night was Game 7 of the ALCS, which is the American League Championship Series, and they won it in glorious fashion. I spent most of the game um, scared and nervous and feeling like we were going to lose because we never had the lead. It went. It was 3-1 all the way up until the seventh inning, and George Springer hit a 3-run homer to make it 4-3, and still had 2 innings left. But the boys never looked back. It was fantastic, just phenomenal. There isn't a single player that touched the field that didn't have an impact. I mean, this is such a great team to cheer for. Like they legit love each other. It makes you want to be in the locker room. Like they're just really good guys, and every single guy that gets interviewed is like, oh, I love these guys. I'm doing it for the team, that kind of thing. So it's pretty darn special to be a fan of this team. And yeah, it was fucking nerve wracking watching that game. Holy cow! But all the pieces fit. The pitchers played very well. I mean, Gaussman came out of the bullpen. He's a starter. So did Bassett. I was hoping to see Bassett because I don't think he surrendered a hit the whole series. The building was insanely loud. Like it was just phenomenal. What a fantastic team to be cheering for. I mean, they're just a great ball club. I'm really looking forward to the World Series, which starts on Friday. and
And
it's
I'm
going to be
supplying the
something.
salsa.
Yeah, Jimmy's. We're hosting a viewing party, and Jimmy's providing the salsa. It's spicy. um,
Homemade, baby.
and so the Jays they win the the American League pennant. They, but another noteworthy thing about last night's game was like for the TV numbers, the average viewers. It broke records. Average viewers for that game. Average. We're talking like from tip to clip, 6 million average viewers, and the audience peaked at 8.3 million for the final outs of the ninth inning. I mean, this is definitely. There's no question that this is Canada's team, and what a great group of guys to be excited for. I mean, I can't wait to watch the World Series. It's going to be
Because
phenomenal.
when was the last time that the Jays made it to the World Series?
93. That was the last when we won too. We won in 92 and 93. But 93 was the last time we made it to the World Series. In 2015, we went to the ALCS and lost. But this is our first trip in 22 years, 32 years, 32 years. Holy shit. So it's
Okay,
pretty special for the players.
and I'm speaking to the listeners right now. If you want to watch a baseball game and be entertained as much by the fans as you are by the game, it's actually more entertained from the fans watching the game. You need to come watch Mooney, watch the game, and also his son Kieran. Dude, I thought he was gonna kill. So like he takes the game so seriously. Like like I can't remember what happened. He looked like he was ready to fight someone. If I would have said the wrong, like he would have fought someone. It was like I know you take it seriously. We were at the River Cree and you were watching the game and me and Johnny were trying to talk to you and he goes, not now, not now. And And then so we just talk to each other and we go, it's probably safer to just leave them alone. Um, but yeah, if you want to see someone take sports seriously and come close to homicidal, if you talk to them, watch with Mooney and his boy. It is it is an adventure. It is more entertaining than the game itself. You don't have to like sports. Just you got to watch fans. That's what gets me going.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of passion there. That's all. Like, um, yeah, and I mean that's what makes it so much fun. I mean, like when you're wrapped up in it, and baseball is such a sport like that. I mean, things can change on a dime. So, yeah, it's oof. Like I said, World Series baby starts on Friday. Can't wait.
We have to take a slight intermission. We can do it. I'll put it at 25 minutes. I'm bleeding, so just give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
I cut my finger while I was doing the salsa, and I just banged it against here, and now it's bleeding again. Just give me a sec.
That's all right. You keep talking.
Okay, let's
Don't you
keep
have
talking.
don't you have any band-aids there?
Not right next to my computer desk.
Oh, well,
I normally don't keep band-aids at my computer desk.
I got it sounds like the boys going to be joining us on Friday too for our watch party. I put the word out to a bunch of people. So
Which boys?
Kieran,
Oh, perfect.
yeah,
Uh, I may have mentioned it to Ian.
yeah, good. I'll be talking to him. Yeah, in the next day or two. I bought a brisket, so I'm going to smoke that.
Yeah, and yeah, so this is the week. This is the week that we're going to be roommates, and we're going to find out whether. Yeah, let's talk about that before we finish. Go into my week, because we're going into testing our real friendship here. So his woman's gone for a week or for a few days, and I'm moving in from Thursday to Saturday, and I'm in charge of the kitty litter.
Yeah,
How
that's
does
right.
how does that work?
Well, you empty it. That's how it works.
No, no, no. I understand that, but it's your cat.
It's not my cat. It's not my cat. It's Andrew's cat.
dude.
We coexist. We coexist. There's no there's
Dude,
we
what's
pass each other in the hallway. That's
you
it.
you share the house, you share the cat.
No,
That's
there's
actually how moving in works.
no
It's not my cat.
it's not my cat either. It is what it
So if
is.
I wasn't if I wasn't there, would you clean the kitty litter?
Um, you know what? I probably have to. I don't know. Like, she's not gone for very long, but I imagine I don't know much about these things, but you probably have to do it every day or two. I don't know. But I literally the one or two times I've ever done it, I have to hold my breath, and even then I almost throw up. And it's not even that bad. It's just I have a really sensitive gag reflex, and yeah,
Oh,
it's not.
you're gonna love living with me and my farts and smelly feet.
Oh
Um,
God,
are you sure you want to do this?
no. You can. I'll just pick up the salsa, and you can fuck off.
Yeah, that's the only reason you invited me over is because I can make salsa, and this is gonna be a deadly batch too. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. It's all
you're
fresh
finally sick.
tomatoes. Oh yeah.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so
I'm looking forward to crushing a brisket too. I think I finally got it figured out in my smoker. So
yeah, so are you done with the sports?
pretty much, yep.
Okay, we're not cutting this part out, the whole thing. We talked all the way through me band-aiding
Yeah, yeah,
myself,
yeah.
so we're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, um, yeah, dude, my week, the Nazareth concert was the highlight of my week. Didn't we go to Julian's at least once this week? No, no, we went to Sherbrooke. We went to
Yeah,
Sherbrooke.
yeah,
That like, if you want to know where if me and Mooney are hanging out somewhere, we either hanging out at Sherbrooke Pub or Julian's.
yeah. That's
Those are
about
the
right.
two places we go. And like today, I'm actually going to go to Brado's to watch the hockey with my buddy Rob. Uh, he's like it's walking. I walk there and take an Uber home, and it's $5 Uber. But
Yeah, that's right by your house.
we all have our go tos, and ours really is Sherbrooke Pub and Julian's.
Yeah,
And I love Sherbrooke. I love Julian's. The staff bring us back. And like you have to say that about both of them.
yeah,
They bring
absolutely.
us back. Like they're nice. They treat us well. They know us by name. Like it's
Well,
it's a great
and
place.
also,
And I love Sherbrooke because they're right next to Sherbrooke Liquor, where I buy different kinds of because you can get specialty stuff there. I got this Spiff corn lager. I thought it'd be okay because it's corn lager. Yeah, don't. Like,
corn lager. Like, what the hell, man?
uh,
What
uh,
is it?
yeah, it's it's made with barley, corn, hops, yeast. Yeah, it's no, like it's
You like you're a
I
good
I,
chamber
I
boy.
yeah, but
You
but
got that corn whiskey too.
it would be different if it was actually an Alberta beer. It's a BC beer. So maybe if they would have used Tabor corn, it might have been better. Like that could be. Thanks for yeah. So Spiff beer, if you want to improve your product, use Tabor corn. Um, just saying. But yeah, what a great week! Like we've we're at Sherbrooke. We at the Nazareth concert. We had like that was the highlight of my week. That
Yeah.
concert and just everything. And And it blows me away how many people walk up, hey Jimmy, and like
Oh,
even
it was
coming out of the VIP, one of my ex bosses came up, and
no,
and
it's crazy, man. Like, and yeah, it's literally every 5 minutes, and I'm like,
And the staff
wow.
at River Cree are amazing. Like
Yeah,
the whole lot of them. And
everybody's good
yeah,
there. The you're talking about the concert. Like I don't think it's just River Cree, but I remember like being a teenager and like I think I saw
you can remember that far back.
haha I saw the Cult. The Cult was my one of my favorite bands. Like when I was in like grade 11, grade 12, and they were actually opening for Metallica, and I got seats in like row 5, and I didn't even stay for Metallica, which probably sounds crazy to some people, but holy shit, my ears rang for like I don't know, like 3 days after, and that's happened to me before at shows like at
Oh
the old
yeah,
Coliseum, and now I know the technology is far superior now with sound and like the mix and all the quality of the sound and stuff. But you can go there and it doesn't even feel that loud, but you can hear everything. Um, even if
but
you're right up
but
front,
you also go deaf because you're screaming too. So you have the incoming and the outgoing just at the top of your lungs at a lot
not
of these
me.
shows too.
I don't I
What's
don't do
that?
the screaming. That's a Jimmy thing because I don't scream at
Yeah,
shows.
you have no personality. I'm you might be the talent of the show. I'm the personality of the show.
Well,
That
yeah, well
like
you're a celebrity, so
yeah, and I'm the one that actually has feelings. Um, but yeah, the shows there are great. I'm
yeah,
actually looking forward to because we still have to get our tickets for the midget. Uh, Brad
yeah.
Williams. That's in March, I think it is.
March or
As
April.
yeah, yeah. It's great place to see a show.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was my week. Made salsa. I'm moving in with that loser for a week or a few days. It's gonna feel like a week. But other than that, my week was not very expansive. I don't have a
that's
life.
that's pretty active. There's a lot of people that do less, so I wouldn't
No, but
I
compared
wouldn't
to
say that.
you, yeah, yeah, like you were out
I
with
fucking did. I
your.
did 3 things, two of which were with you, and one was family. So give it a rest, pal.
Wow, I was actually trying to give you a compliment, and I'm
Yeah,
not going to
it's
do that. I'm not going to do that again. Like I was actually giving you a compliment that you have more of a life than I do, and then you get all pissy. Like, dude,
I wasn't being pissy. I'm just saying, it's like I'm
listen, I
telling
only
you,
did three more things than you did, and two of them were with you. Like,
fuck off.
uh,
Just
wow.
whatever,
Um,
pal.
yeah, but I'm totally lost because I have no idea where to go now because you totally upset me. Um,
No, because you're the one with feelings, right?
yeah, I'm the one with feelings. Okay, so I
So
have I have a question for you. Okay, and it's when say you're at a show and and you're there and someone comes and you're sitting down at a bar or sitting at a table or whatever, and someone comes over and says hi. Is it rude to shake their hand and not stand?
I'm all about shaking hands and like I kind of appreciate that kind of old school approach of like formal greetings and shit like that. Um, and I that's never occurred to me. Like I probably have done that where I shake someone's hand when I'm sitting down. I don't know what the etiquette is with that, but it sounds
Because
reasonable to me. It sounds like something I should adopt.
but I like I do it sometimes, especially if I'm sitting at a bar because it's a pain in the ass for me to get down. It takes me 10 minutes to get back up. But if it's someone that's as a show of respect, if it's someone that's you know that you respect or should respect, standing up is a thing. I think,
Yeah,
in my personal
yeah,
opinion.
I agree. I don't know if I've. gotten like I'm a big handshaker. Like at the very least, if I'm greeting a friend or somebody, I'll shake their hand or give them a hug. Um, so I'm probably guilty of having done that. But then again, I'm starting to think maybe I just get up anyway. I don't know.
I
But
know
from
you.
now on,
I know you do. You do a lot of the time. I can't remember where I saw it. If I saw somebody else do it or whatever. But like for example, if it's just you walking up and it's someone I see all the time. If I'm sitting on it, especially if it's a pain in the ass for me to get down and up again, I'm shaking your hand sitting. But
yeah,
if your dad comes by and like with you and I'm greeting him, I'm standing up. Like
yeah,
it's totally different. Like it's a show of respect to stand when you're shaking a man's hand, is or even a woman's hand.
yeah,
Someone of respect. But it's I can't. I saw some young guys do that, and they were just sitting, and I'm like, well, dude, like it was the owner of the bar or something. I can't remember what it was. And they just got, and I'm like, uh,
yeah.
it triggered me. But
I like I think that's classy. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be more conscious of it. I might do it already. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but
I
I'm
know you
definitely doing
do.
that.
Like I've seen you do it. I've seen you shake hands and whatever, and make an honest effort of standing to do it.
Okay, good. Yeah,
But
maybe it's something I
I
don't think about and do anyway. I don't know.
like I try to again unless I'm sitting at a bar stool and it takes me half an hour to get back on it
Yeah, no,
because
I that you get
like
there's special
like
dispensation for that.
yeah, because if listeners haven't seen me do it, me getting on a bar stool is an event unto itself. Like it involves a village. Like it's like okay, hold my chair. Okay, make sure I don't fall. Okay, now move that chair. Okay, now push me in. And yeah, it's an adventure.
That's a thing. That's a thing. Like in our relationship, that like I love sitting at the bar. Like that's my thing. I sit at the bar, and I know that it's hard for you, not just getting up there, um, but like your legs get like fall asleep because of how you have to sit, and it sucks. But I hate sitting at the tables, so it's like it's a real worlds colliding thing. I think you're very accommodating considering what a pain in the ass it is for you to sit at the bar.
But
So
but
I got
you've
to tell you, I
also
appreciate that.
But you've also become accommodating too, going, hey, dude, I can't sit up here anymore. Okay, let's find a table. Like you are accommodating too.
Yeah, when you
You
say
were,
it, but I
but you prefer sitting at the bar. I love sitting at the bar, talking to the staff and stuff like that, but I can only do it for so long.
yeah,
And then, but then there's some bars where they don't have normal tables, where they're all
yeah,
high tables and high chairs. So, and then if that's the case, I'm sitting at the bar. Like,
yeah. Uh, that booth thing at Sherbrooke's awesome
yeah, I,
because
that's
I'm
we,
comfortable there. I'm sitting up higher and
yeah, we need to talk to her about, reserving that as the bald and short of it section. And, that it's, if
yeah,
if it like have bald in it, have a sign put bald and short of it section, you will be removed if they come in. Um, you know,
well, you're a
just saying.
celebrity, so I could you could probably get away with it given your celebrity
Oh,
status.
she knows you more than she does me.
Yeah, but like you say, they might know me, but they like you.
But that's dude. That's life. It's gonna be that way. Don't fret. Uh,
I shan't
yeah. What
fret.
else do we
Thank
have?
you.
You
Um,
shan't fret. Okay.
so let me ask you this. Um, we just had an election in Edmonton. Like, well, they did all across Alberta for municipalities, and couple things about that. Like, I heard lots of like I voted. Like, I've never missed an election. I vote.
No,
consistently.
I'm the same. I
And I
if
heard
you
a
don't,
lot. Go
my
ahead.
personal opinion is if you don't vote, you're not allowed to bitch.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Someone's at my door. Just give me 1 second.
Tell Susan she's at the wrong address. She's got to come here.
I, yeah, yeah. I left the gate open. Yeah, yeah. Sure. You bet. Thanks. Sorry about that.
Uh, do you want this cut?
It's up to you.
Doesn't
You
matter.
can. Yeah,
No,
it's
let's
up to
leave
you.
it in because I was
Okay.
making fun of you anyway. Um,
No, it'll be like the rest of the podcast, so that's fine.
no, I said just
Um,
tell Susan she's at the wrong address. You know, my girlfriend.
um, no, what I read on X about the election before I actually went to my polling station was that there were long lineups, and I know that they said they were going to do hand counting instead of machine counting. But I mean, Calgary had theirs wrapped up by the end of the evening in terms of counting, and they had more votes, and we had we they stopped last night and then resumed again today to finish the counting. What was interesting was that one candidate was ahead of the other one, and then the next morning, right away, they start counting, and the other candidate's ahead. That's what happened in that election with Trump and Biden back in the day when they were when
Oh,
people were saying that there was some shenanigans or something. But I mean,
because
the
for
the the the,
for
the dummies.
municipal they don't do mail in, do they? Here?
No, no, no. It's but they did hand counting, and I don't know, like the dummy that won. I mean, the one thing leading up to this election that everybody, like in the media, everybody consistently talked about was how pissed off Edmontonians were about infill, about bike lanes, about all that stuff. So you would think that that
That the
because
guys
of
that's
that,
a proponent of those things
that the
wouldn't
people
be
that
elected.
yeah, the people that actually sat on the council that everyone was pissed off about eh, wouldn't be elected. And instead, like we've got one of the biggest jerk offs who want to have eightplexes next to like family homes and who want to have more bike lanes and who've actually stated that. Like the dummies that did that, like in my writing, the counselor got reelected. The jerk off that was the biggest proponent of that shit on council becomes mayor. I mean, guess what, Edmonton, you're gonna get what you deserve. And here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing is that this was like a record low voter turnout. And so usually when people are pissed off about stuff, like they show up. And instead we have a record low. So guess what, Edmonton? If you didn't vote and you don't like it, well, too fucking bad. Because um these idiots get elected. And it's because whatever, I won't get into it, but I don't know. What are your
Because what I
thoughts on the
think is
results?
because what I think is funny is there is people that are complaining. Like people go, "Oh no, the, that guy's not getting in." Uh, I don't need to worry about it. Everybody hates him, and then they don't vote, and then they don't vote, and then
Yeah. Like if all the people that were pissed off at these dummies that got reelected, if all of them actually went out and voted, they wouldn't have been elected. These people, and it's just frustrating because like we're kind of all in this together. So you should have your like make your voice count. That's really frustrating. I'm not looking forward to the next 4 years. That's for sure.
no. Yeah, I don't want to say like I I I don't want to
You,
say any more on my part because I'd much rather have him than the guy that we currently have as mayor. The I don't want to go there, but I don't like this guy either. But
no,
you know what? We are in a country in which we vote for who we want in, and if we aren't voting, then we're screwing the system. And that's the moral of the story. Is
yeah, you get what you
if
deserve.
people aren't voting, then you're the problem, not the candidates. Like whether or not I disagree or not, they got voted in. They deserve to be there. Like,
I'm
it,
not. I'm not disagreeing.
it is what it is. Like we have to deal with what we got, and if we wanted to change it, we as a group would have changed it.
Yep.
It kind of goes with the same kind of scenario as what you were talking before about um about trying to change bullying in society. If society as a whole stood up and made it wrong, we would get rid of it. We wouldn't need government interference because people as a whole would say something. And this is kind of the same thing. People as a whole aren't saying anything. People as a whole aren't changing it. People want to get rid of bullying, but they're not going to say anything. And, people want to change the government, but they aren't voting. Like if we want to make change, we are the change. We have to be the change. That's like,
And that's the thing. Like I said, I mean, I'm sure that those lineups can't had to have helped the result in terms of the turnout, because every time, like I must have read it um 5 or 6 times yesterday, uh in separate posts about how long the lineups were at the polling stations. And for every statement or article about that, um that's probably a handful of people that decide not to show up, um,
so
to show up and
so
vote.
I'm in the riding um that Andrew Knack was the biggest. Like he's been the counselor here for a million years,
Yep.
and the thing is they say how busy the polling stations are. I just walk in mine, like I just go like people like I think what what is kind of messing up the situation too is people going, oh, the lineups at the polling stations are so crazy. So then people are like, I'm not going to bother, but they're not. Like it's
Yeah,
like go
I
look.
was, it was about half an hour of my time total, and there was a lineup, but it moved along fairly quickly.
Mine was a half an hour of my time, and 20 minutes of it was walking. Like,
Yeah. So I don't know, but like I said, I mean, the the people that are vested, like the union guys, and like, I don't know, like the political operatives, and believe me, we're a big union town. They will always vote, so they're going to have a say no matter what. But if regular folks that don't like the bike lanes, that don't like, the excessive infill, and don't like the direction the city's taken with regards to all the different things that I'm pissed off about, like a light at every intersection, like they don't like traffic, they don't want cars, and we're a sprawling city. Like, it is what it is. And when you have an activist council, um, then the concerns of regular people like you and me don't really matter as much as what they're activist about. So anyway, it's disappointing, and I don't know. That's about all I have to say about that.
yeah, whoever our mayor is, who our mayor is, we don't need to go through names and can't call it. You know, they were fairly elected. So
Yep,
let's hope for the best. But in order to fix the system, more people have to vote. That's just it. And
100%.
but we
We
will
agree.
we
We've
but
agreed on like everything today. Like, shit, this
I
isn't
got to
good
change
radio.
that. I got to change that. Like
This isn't good
it's
radio. Like, we
no,
the handshaking
this
and
is horrible.
the
I actually don't like it when I agree with you. I actually feel dirty. Um, okay, so
Wait, hang on.
we're
I
gonna
have a
change it.
Jimmy quote. I have a Jimmy quote.
I was gonna bring that one up, but you can do it.
What was I talking about when you said the friendship thing?
I don't know. I think it was when you were being grumpy when I was trying to talk to you while you're watching sports. And I'm like, you know what? You're way behind on your friendship payments. Like,
Yeah, and then um, we were watching ball, and I said, like, you can tell that it's a home run. And I said, you know, it's a dinger when you hear that distinct sound when the ball hits the bat. And you said, if I ever make that connection, kill me. Like, it's all right not to like sports without being a dick about it.
no, but I can't remember what you said. Like, because uh, you're like I'm a, probably one of the best Star Wars nerds on the like at least on this podcast, and I'm big
You're
on
the
Star
only,
Wars.
you're not only the only Star Wars nerd on this podcast, you're the only nerd on this podcast.
You're the
Uh,
sports nerd, dude. You are a sports nerd, as my friends used to call them, sports donkeys,
yeah,
or
that's
sports ass,
impressive.
whichever way you want to look at it. But
Well, now we know what how the nerd community feels. Anyway, go on.
I totally lost track of where we were going. But I'm sitting. Okay, but so I'm sitting here calling you a sports nerd, and I went through my day earlier, but I did something that I didn't write down in the prep because I didn't want you to know about it until now. And you are gonna really think I'm a nerd. So May the 4th is Star Wars Day. It's still a long ways out, but I was
Thank
watching
God.
Star Wars. Who knew? And I did a total chronology of how you need to watch every Star Wars project if you want to go from the very beginning to like in order. So like with Star Wars Acolyte is the oldest, like is the furthest back, and then you get into Tales of the Jedi, blah blah blah. So dude, I spent an hour on this going through, and even in the series going, okay, so you go from Clone Wars up to season 6, then you go to Revenge of the Sith, then you go to then you go to season 7. Like, I was doing this and I said to myself, I kind of need a life. Like, but I also did this at 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up thinking it, and then I had to do it.
So I
My
know, like,
Yeah.
I know that, like, the original Star Wars, like the one that kicked it all off in '77 or whatever, that was actually episode 4, and then they did
Yes.
4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, eventually, and then there's some other movies since then. Um,
Yeah.
and so I get that, but I mean, they also have different property. Like some were cartoons and shit, and or whatever. I don't know, whatever.
Animated programs. They're not called cartoons. They're called animated projects.
By
Like,
nerds,
get you,
anyways, by nerds. But so like I'm saying, it. Uh, I don't. Who cares?
no, but if you want to follow the storyline where
Yeah,
stuff falls into place,
there's a thread that, like, from the first to the beginning to the end. I get it.
yeah, there is, and it's very important. Just saying.
Yeah, like if
And
someone didn't know like what Star Wars was, you would have a program for them to follow,
okay,
like where they would.
let me ask you a question. You're a Star Wars. You're not a Star Wars guy, but you claim to like certain things.
Yeah,
Where does
it came out when I was a kid.
where does the Mandalorian fall? Like, where does it come after?
Okay, so I know that Boba Fett was in Empire, um, because Jabba the Hutt wanted him to get Han Solo, or I guess,
Eh,
um, and the Mandalorian and Boba Fett were the same era or something. Or I think Boba Fett was just a little older. Is that right? So Mandalorian would you'd watch Mandalorian after Return or something? Does that sound right?
I'm impressed.
Well, I don't know.
So
I
no, dude, I'm impressed. You actually impressed me. It takes a lot for you to impress me, and especially when it comes to nerd stuff. Like that's impressive because Return of the Jedi, and then it goes into Mandalorian season 1 and 2. But Boba Fett, there's a part in the Boba Fett series that actually was right during Return of the Jedi. Like it was like days after. So so technically speaking, they are um they are 5 years on the most part after Return of the Jedi. Both of those,
so
and
is
including
there a Boba Fett one series?
you haven't seen the Boba Fett series?
I think I have. I don't know. Like it's on Disney, right? And is it a cartoon or is it like real people?
No, it's the real people.
Oh, I
Tamar
probably.
Morris is dude,
No, no. Friend of the
dude.
podcast, Ruben, told me about Mandalorian because we talk about TV and shit a lot, and
But
he's a
but
big
Mandalorian
cinephile.
is
And
but
I started watching Mandalorian.
Mandalorian is good for Muggles. It's good for non-Star Wars nerds. That's what
Muggles.
I call a Muggle.
Yeah. Okay.
Not non-nerd people. So I
So
stole
you
it from
you use a term from like a Harry
Harry
Potter, which
Potter.
also has its own class of like nerd following losers, and to apply to people who aren't nerd following Star Wars losers.
Yes,
You're you're crossing nerd platforms there.
because but see, like we were talking about the Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and then at the end of season 2 was right after that was Boba Fett. But the last three episodes of Boba Fett linked into Mandalorian season 3 because their Mandalorian was in the last three episodes of Boba Fett.
Okay.
So yeah,
So can you explain how Gandalf is related to Darth Vader?
dude, totally different nerd world. That you're talking about Middle Earth, not Tatooine. Um,
Like, yeah, whatever.
Gandalf is Lord of the Rings, or Hobbit, whichever way you want to look at it, or both. But
So
yeah, so I woke up the other morning and I'm like, I can't sleep. And then I don't know why I came up with this, and I'm like, why don't I sort out Star Wars? And did it for about 2 hours at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and because I couldn't fall back to sleep.
one of the things that I noticed about any of the Star Wars stuff that I consume is that there's always that under like that undertone of like politics or like the like the empire or the
Okay,
republic and all
yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
So I suppose that watching it chronologically would help someone who's like trying to understand like the political undertones.
Where you're going from the Republic to the Empire to the New Republic and the First Order. Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff, sure. Um anyway,
Basically,
we can
I just broke down the three eras, dude. Like
okay, we
in
can
like
that's great.
well,
Someone might watch this, like I'm not sure who, but we
that's
can move
actually
on.
it's I'm just saying you do have friends that are almost as nerdy as me because you even brought it up like to them or to was
Yeah,
that
like
Ruben?
yeah, Boobins he's big. He's a big cinephile, and so he I don't think
Oh,
he
he's
knows.
not that big, dude. He's just barely above midget.
Anyway, friend of the podcast, Ruben is like we could have him on as a guest like during Oscar season and shit like that because he makes it a point of watching all that stuff.
No,
It's a big deal.
I'm bringing him on before the next Star Wars movie, dude. Like, oh yeah, like we're gonna go tastic. It's gonna be like, dude.
Well,
Just
Boobins
you
is
wait.
he's bald, so Maybe he can be a guest
I
host,
mean,
and then I don't have to
no,
endure that
yeah,
shit.
he can be a guest host, and we don't have to have sports for 6 hours during a 1 hour podcast. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that Star Wars update there, pal. I mean,
Hey,
it's really
I'm
awesome.
I'm here for you. I'm
Really,
all
really,
about you,
really,
man.
I feel better having heard all of that. It's really special. So, what else do you
Okay,
want to talk about?
so you hear about Ace Frehley from Kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away this week at the age of 74. They what do you think of Kiss?
Uh, I don't know. Like, I mean, I actually had a Kiss record when I was a kid
It's
because
it's
they,
not it's not yacht rock, but it's
yeah,
rock.
I don't,
But
I don't, I don't, I don't think that I've heard Kiss records, and I don't think I've ever heard one that was like consistently good. Like they have their hits and they did the makeup, but I don't think there's anything particularly besides the makeup. I don't think that there's anything particularly unique about Kiss.
But the thing is, though, is they were one of the first bands that were more than just singing. They were entertainers. Hence the masks. Hence the crazy makeup, the full out outfit. Dude, I wore Gene Simmons outfit I was hired for a party where I had to wear a Gene Simmons bat outfit, like where it was, and it's heavy leather,
Yeah,
and and then they did the face paint and everything, and then I had a mask for when the face paint started to run. Dude, that shit's heavy. Like it's heavy leather,
yeah,
and you're on stage. Like you have to
uh,
give respect for guys
yeah,
like that. That where it's like, dude, I was like my sweat was sweating. Like
yeah. They're, you know
like
what you know what you can say about them. Like when I was a kid, I didn't even know really what they were. Like my mom bought me a record and rock and roll over, and uh, they uh they had Kiss dolls, and you couldn't find them. Like they were sold out of stores and shit. So whatever you want to say about Kiss, like they're brilliant, brilliant marketers because I mean, like
Gene
how much
Simmons is
money?
really known for that.
Yeah,
He is a smart dude when it comes to that, and he was a big part of
yeah, like it's a
that
brand. Like
marketing.
the band becomes like an actual brand, and I mean that's all kinds of revenue streams. So good for them. I don't have anything bad to say about Kiss. I just I'm just I think the music's
You're
pretty
Yeah,
pedestrian.
yeah. It's not your stuff. But they're but they were also on some music soundtracks that you probably didn't know about. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They did the song at the end. Uh, why can't I think of what the name of the song is? Um,
Because it's not
uh,
memorable.
no, it's it, dude. As soon as God gave rock and roll to you,
Okay,
it was actually at the end of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
fantastic.
And in case you cared, um, no, they're a good band, and he was the star man, and Gene Simmons was great. Like again, I guess I've heard from people that have interviewed him, he's a total dick. But
Oh yeah. Paul Stanley's got a great voice though. Like he's
oh
got
yeah,
phenomenal. He actually was on Broadway. He did a Broadway show like, and I think it was the guy with the mask, the face, the Notre Dame or some shit. I don't. Oh no, I don't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not a Broadway guy, but he's got a hell of a voice. And listen, they're a good band. They're solid. In their day, with Ace and all those guys, and I mean even after their current guitarist. I mean, if they're still current, Tommy Thayer, he actually was Ace Frehley's guitar tech when they had their reunion, and then Ace Frehley left, and they're like, "Hey, you want the gig?" And he literally played like the next night.
Oh
and
wow.
he's a really good guitarist too, Tommy Thayer. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. Yeah, I could take him or leave him.
Because you weren't an '80s '90s rock guy.
Not particularly. Like
No, yeah, you're like the Huey Lewis in the News, and what are what were those two guys with the hair? Um, they look like they're from you play their songs all the time.
oh, Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates, yeah.
Yeah, I love
They're
Hall
not
and
Hall
Oates.
and Oates.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no.
Good.
It's too bad. I like Ace Frehley. I mean, it sounds like he's a pretty good guy. It sounds like he actually didn't get really a fair shake from Paul and Gene. But what do I know? He, I know that he was making music up until his death, and God love him for that.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you know what? We're gonna hear more and more about there's all these greats passing away as they're all getting old. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't young when he passed, and it's sad, especially if you're a fan of the music.
yep.
Okay, where do you want to go next? Because what do you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. I really like that shaking the hand thing. That's like I like when I learn something. So that's a good thing. Um, what did you have to? You're talking about this Paris Jackson business.
Dude,
For the
so
record, this is Michael Jackson's kid, right?
yes, her inheritance. She's 27, and her inheritance, she's blasting through it like nobody's business. She's almost broke,
How do you
was
know
what I
this?
was
Like,
reading.
first of all, a
No,
who cares?
it was just an article that I read that like she's because of her bills, she pays 18,000 a month for rent,
Jesus,
26,000 a month for travel.
holy cow!
Like,
That's huh. um
and she's trying to get into the music industry, and she's put over $120,000, like it looks like monthly, to her production company.
um that that could be considered an investment if the production company produced anything. But what do I know?
If it, it if no, but if they produced anything and she makes money on any of this stuff that she's doing,
But
but yeah,
the other thing
she's
is like Michael Jackson Inc. Even though he's dead, still makes money. So like
yeah,
his estate, like because like licensing, branding, like I mean anywhere there's like a show in Vegas, I mean licensing of the music for different things. So there's still income generated from him. Well, now whether or
yeah.
not, I don't know. Who knows? I don't really give a shit about that. Like I was just curious.
No, I just thought it because I wanted because that's what I wanted to you not to look at, because I wanted to go, hey, dude, like they're saying that she has so much debt, and she's blowing through her inheritance faster than anyone could have even thought about. Like, could
Well,
you
you know what? Like
like if you got that much money, would you I don't I don't know for sure, but I couldn't blow through that shit. Like
no,
pay I wouldn't pay $100,000 a month for rent, um, or whatever it is. It says that she was no, sorry, 18,000 a month for rent.
I don't. I like some people. Like if you talk to her about how we lived or like a normal person's life is or whatever, she'd probably be flabbergasted, and she probably doesn't think that's a big deal because she's never had anything different. So it's like you are how you
Yeah,
go or whatever. So I don't know. Like that's an interesting question that people often have or discuss. is
Yeah.
if you won the
She would be
lottery, what would you do, kind of thing, right?
she would be someone that would put your empties aside and take them to the beer store so you can take them to the uh, to for recycling so that you can buy another case of beer. Um,
Yeah. So, and that's like a, a philosophical question almost, is like, what would you do if you won the lottery? And I mean, like, I'd probably the one excessive thing I would do probably is like get a charter a plane and go with my friends to Vegas. But other than that, I'm good. I'd pay off my mortgage, and I wouldn't change very much about my life at all. I'm pretty happy with what I how I live, you know. So um, it's just interesting when you have these people that live like that. I mean, it just seems so excessive. The amount of money they spend on like one thing in life is like
yeah,
literally life changing money for a regular person, and they
like
probably don't even know it.
the amount of money that she spends on one thing is more than like I can't remember what it was I saw. I'm like, that's more than I made last year. Like
Yeah,
that
that's
was more
I don't know.
that was more than my income. Um,
But yeah,
but
I don't really give a shit. I mean, that's like, it's like talking about aliens. I wouldn't know or care much about it either way, in my
but
opinion.
one thing I like to end at least my part of this show with is a sample of drunk thoughts with Jimmy.
Let's close with that because we haven't talked about that for a while. Your drunk
No,
thoughts.
we kind of touched on it last week, but I was, we were talking earlier about how I got fixated about Star Wars and how um, fixated I am on things. And I was watching Return of the Jedi while I was drinking,
Of course
as
you
you
would.
should, as you should. And I was watching Return of the Jedi, and I was thinking to myself, so which Jedi actually returned during a Return of the Jedi? What's your thought on that? Who actually returned?
They're not talking about a Jedi. They're talking about the Order of Jedi's. So that's like
But
saying
but it
the
was
return
called
of the
Return.
plumbers.
Okay, so who were they talking about, Luke or Anakin?
They were talking about like they weren't talking about a single Jedi. They were talking about the Order of Jedi's, like
Okay, that's a
Jedi's
different.
plural.
Okay, that's a different way of looking at it because so I was thinking because Luke wasn't returning as a Jedi because he claimed he was one in Empire Strikes Back, but in Return of the Jedi, Anakin was redeemed and he came back to the Jedi Order. Hence, at the end of the movie, he was the Force ghost. So he returned to the Jedi Order. But I also like your way of thinking that the Jedi are back through Luke and with the fact that Anakin was redeemed. So
They're
it's kind,
relevant again.
yeah,
They're
they're
important
back.
again.
They're back in the swing of things.
Where they were
See,
suppressed and fading away or whatever, they've come back.
they didn't
They've
exist
returned.
because they didn't exist. They were non-existent anymore.
There you go.
I kind of like your way of thinking, and but I still think I'm not sure if it was, but I was thinking that it was Anakin returning to the Jedi Order.
You should ask AI. Go to Gemini and ask them or something.
I no, I like
Or
I try not to deal with the AI stuff. I don't want Terminators to come to my house and kill me with my lightsabers. Um, I'm just saying.
hang on a minute.
What?
In Return of the Jedi, who is actually returning? Can you hear that?
Kind of. You'll have to translate.
Hang on. So it says the title's a bit misleading. Nobody's returning in a literal sense like a sequel character. It's more about the Jedi Order's legacy coming back after nearly being wiped out. Luke Skywalker is the closest thing to a Jedi returning, fully embracing his role. But honestly, it's symbolic hope, balance. It's symbolic hope, balance, and the Force itself making a comeback against the Empire. So there you go.
Huh. So actually, your answer was very similar to the AI, which makes you kind of a robot. And mine and where I was saying Anakin came back because he was a Sith and he was redeemed back to the Jedi Order. So
I am just
I
embarrassed.
was the emotional. I had the emotional answer, and you had the robotic answer. So
I'm embarrassed that I was right about Star Wars.
you're comparing to AI. You're facilitating them taking over the world. Like
Okay, well, better them
I
than the evil Empire.
better them than the evil Empire. So before we say goodbye, I just like to say think big or go bald. Um, this is the Bald and Short of It podcast. I am James P. White. That is Chris Mooney, and have a great day.
Thanks, folks.